talks about futuristic education, evolving landscape of management studies. There'll be a lot of discussion on integrating design thinking, simulation-based learning, pedagogy, andragogy, and heutagogy, faculty development programs and upskilling, mentoring, and creating change makers. For this, I would like to call upon Professor Prafulla Y. Agnihotri, Director, IIM Sirmaur, Himachal Pradesh. So he would be moderating this session. For the discussion, I would like to call upon Professor S. Srinivasa Murthy, Director, Institute of Public Enterprises, Hyderabad. I would like to call upon Dr. Sindhu, Director in Charge, JNTU School for Management Studies. Further, I would like to call upon Dr. V. Uma Devi, Deputy Secretary, T. Suarez. Also, I would like to call upon Shri George Wake, CAMO, T. Suarez. Okay, I would like to also call upon Mr. Shrikanta Swami, Senior Consultant and Expert NAAC, to be a part of this panel discussion, please.
Good afternoon to you, friends, and good afternoon to my fellow colleagues over here on the dais. It's a third panel on futuristic education, evolving landscape of management education in India. And we have 4 panelists over here, and we have decided to divide the topic among us, and we shall start with each one of us, and then we would be happy to take questions from the audience if the time permits. If you see the world over, there is an explosion of technology. Since we are discussing about landscape, evolving landscape is quite different. There is an explosion of technology. Every 3 minutes, one website is taking place. New entrepreneurs are coming up. Okay? Business failures is at a record high. Okay? New products are being launched. I remember my grandfather had bought a car, and which I also used. But these days, every 3 years, new model is launched. On an average, life of a PC, a personal computer, is for 1.5 years. So product life cycles are getting shorter. If you see this industrial scenario, the question that comes is, how do we prepare our managers to what skills they should have, what knowledge they should have, what attitude they should have, and how should they gear up to face these challenges when they meet the real world. To discuss this, we have 4 of us over here. We shall start with, of course, the pedagogy, andragogy, and heutagogy. Okay. And to discuss this, we could not have anyone better than Dr. Shrikanta Swami, who is an academic consultant with NAC. And naturally, therefore, he was an obvious choice of the group to discuss about pedagogy and andragogy. Over to you, sir.
Respected sir, thank you very much. I think all my friends who are here, you are all in higher education. But in the secondary education, if someone wants to become a teacher, he or she has to undergo 1 year or 2 years training, without which he or she may not be comfortable to teach the students effectively. When we think of quality of education, quality of teaching plays an important role. NAC has considered the 7 important criteria in order to assess the quality of higher education. Among all the 7, teaching and learning plays an important role, and more weightage is given to this. With the secondary level, it is fine, because without training, no one will be admitted to become a teacher at the secondary level. Whereas at the college level, a person completes the MSc yesterday and today is going to teach for the degree students, so it is possible. Therefore, some amount of training is very much essential, and pedagogy plays an important role. Like every teacher come across what to teach, when to teach, and how to teach. What to teach is the subject matter, when to teach decides about your timetable, and how to teach is very, very important. Though there are 10 qualified trained teachers, among all these 10, the teaching may not be the same. All students may not like, all the teachers at the same level, they may not accept. But however, studies have proved that those who have been trained, they are the successful teachers. Therefore, at the school level, we highlight more upon the pedagogy. Pedagogy means the art and science of teaching. Therefore, in the pedagogy, we have got two categories, as you all know. One we say student-centered, other one is called the teacher-centered like. Therefore, in student-centered, we give a lot of freedom to the students and make them to speak out. And we always make the students to express their abilities. Whereas at the college level, the teacher will dominate the whole thing. Therefore, in higher education, many experts have highlighted that even those who are teaching for UG and PG, they also should be given some kind of training. It can be 3 months training or 4 months training or 6 months. It is very much necessary. Since the structured training program is not there, that's why UGC is insisting upon making the people to go and have some kind of training under the banner UGC, HRDC. Human Resource Development Centers are established in most of the universities where you have to go there for 14 days or 21 days and try to acquire some of the skills pertaining to the teaching. Whereas when we think of pedagogy, we speak at the school level, and andragogy, we speak at the higher level, because you are going to teach the students. Whether it is pedagogy or andragogy, what is important is a teacher should know the subject matter. A teacher should also know about the behavior of the students. And without understanding the behavior of the students, it is very difficult for him to make his teaching more effective. That's why the importance is given to pedagogy as well as andragogy. Therefore, short-term courses are also organized. Now, many online courses are also available to improve. Therefore, I personally feel that there is a need, even in the NEP is also insisting that every university should have a department known as the education department, where B.Ed can be there, M.Ed can be there, or MA in education can be there. NEP is insisting on that. That's because in the name of this kind of training, even college teachers can also be trained and they'll be more comfortable in teaching. Therefore, I feel pedagogy is a must. In due course, let us hope and pray that there can be 3 to 6 months course for the college teachers, wherein we always speak about the education, concept of education, types of education, formal, informal, etc. Then we also will speak more about the psychology of the students. We speak about the psychological foundations there. Sociological foundations is another important, and the other one is philosophical foundations. Like that, these 3 foundations should be emphasized, so that based upon these 3 foundations, students are very clear what they are learning, why they are learning, and how they wanted to use their learning. I think I personally feel that pedagogy plays an important role. The designing thinking aspect, one line I want to add now only, and then, yeah. Yes. There were friends here. As I said, and we have got different types or the methods of teaching. People also will highlight, morning we have discussed so much about the experiential learning, very, very important. Carl Roger, who highlights more upon the experiential learning. Unless you make the child to go to the real situation and learn, his learning may not become permanent, may not become effective. That's why everybody is talking about experiential learning. Like that, we have got inductive approaches, deductive approaches, discovery approaches, guided discovery approaches, technology-based teaching. Then we also will be having a method wherein you are going to place the learner in the place of a discoverer and make him to learn. Every time we are going to tell the students many things. Instead, place him in the place of a discoverer, and you can be a facilitator and make him to learn. I think this is very, very important. And we have got constructivist approach. That's what people also talking, that in higher education we can insist upon the constructivist approach, wherein we have got cognitive constructivism and social constructivism. In cognitive, we expect the students to use their earlier experience and learn. Whereas in the social constructivism, we expect them to move with the students, share with them, and ultimately peer group influence can also make them to learn. Therefore, the pedagogy plays an important role, and based upon the pedagogy, I think we can improve and we can enhance the quality of teaching. I think that's one aspect. The other one, is about what is that NEP is looking for when we are talking about the education. They say apart from developing the general knowledge, specific knowledge, technical knowledge, we have to develop the cognitive abilities among the students. This is very, very important. Thinking and reasoning plays an important role. You take any advanced countries, in the area of research they have advanced so much means because innovation is given more emphasis. Creativity is given more emphasis. That's why people also will say there is a need to make our students to develop thinking abilities. Designing thinking plays an important role in our educational system, especially in higher education system. We have to give more emphasis upon thinking skills. Among the 21st century skills, what experts are talking that every teacher should know, they highlight upon the creative thinking on one side and critical thinking on the other side. Though the concept of creative thinking around 1960-70, every one of us we are talking about. Now recently people are saying that apart from creative thinking, critical thinking is equally important. How do we develop this creative thinking? In creative thinking, we have got a lot of brainstorming techniques where you are going to develop creativity. But how do you develop critical thinking? Can we measure it? I think a lot of studies are available. I did a lot of work in the area of critical thinking. It is not a type of thinking where we are going to criticize. It is a type of thinking where you are going to judge which one is right and which one is wrong. You are going to differentiate between which one is relevant and which one is not relevant. You are going to give more emphasis upon the credibility of a source. Like that, there are many characteristics based upon which critical thinking can also be developed. Earlier, people thought that thinking is ability, it was fixed, it is inherited, and nothing can be done. Now, latest studies are proving that these are the thinking, they are no more thinking abilities, they are called thinking skills. Thereby, we can define, we can train, we can improve upon. That's where critical thinking plays an important role. A lot of packages are available regarding critical thinking. Edward de Bono is a man who did a lot of work in the area of critical thinking. Therefore, I think, in my opinion, there is a need to emphasize upon these two aspects. One, internally you can have a training mechanism by means of which pedagogy and andragogy can be a built-in system in your own university or a college. That's one suggestion. Second one, you also can have a curricular approach or non-curricular approach to develop the critical thinking skills. Kindly keep these two as your projects in your own institutions or colleges. By introducing these two, you are going to see how exactly it enhances the quality and leads to sustainability. Thank you, sir. That's what I want to say.
Thank you, Dr. Swami. Definitely critical thinking is very important. Creative thinking is very important. Apart from that, today when we speak to the industry also says that we would also like to have some inbuilt values in among our employees or the employees whom we would like to employ. Okay? And some of those values that the other day, just last week, HRD manager was telling me what we look for in our futurist candidates whom we recruit from the campuses is also kindness, empathy. And I was amazed in which direction the industry is moving on. It's not that cutthroat competition, either you deliver or you are out, but someone who will look at people with compassion, with kindness, with empathy. They say we also look for these type of traits among our employees. So I was sweetly surprised and happily surprised to know that industry is moving in this way. Naturally, if industry is moving in this way, don't you think we should also imbibe these values in our students? So, whatever pedagogy that we use should also ensure that these values should be there in our pedagogy. Moving forward, okay, when we discuss about faculty development and their upscaling and other things, okay, we have an expert, okay, Dr. V. Uma Devi, Deputy Secretary, okay, and I would request her to share her thoughts on that.
Thank you, sir. Good evening to everyone. Faculty Development Program. So every teacher, once completing the qualification, you may feel that my education is over. But it's not like that for a teacher. So until you finish your profession of teaching, you keep learning. So learning never ends. You know, in our colleges, syllabus keep changing. So every time we go for preparing the new syllabus and teaching the students, right? So you're all familiar in preparing the subject and teaching. That's not enough for a teacher. You had to go for the faculty development programs like 2-week workshops, 3-week FDPs, two weeks FDPs, and also seminars, conferences. You have to attend regularly. Like college-wise, university-wise, if possible through other states also, you have to visit and attend. You will gain a lot of knowledge. Why? Because wherever you go for the conferences, the discussion on a particular topic will be going in a depth manner. So you'll be gaining a lot of knowledge. And also research is also very much important for a teacher. So once you do research like a publishing papers and all, some of the faculty, till they have 10 years of experience also, they don't have how to write a paper, idea on paper writing. So this is very bad thing. They say, I don't find the time. Of course, everybody have 24 hours of time only, right? So you have to create the time of 1 hour at least daily, such that you can spare the time for research or as upgrading your skills. That will help a lot for you, as well as you can bring the quality in teaching. And finally, the student will be benefited by that. So student should feel now, not like earlier days, when we were in schools, when in our days, the teaching was different. Now it's completely changed. According to time is going on, passing, new methods, new techniques are coming into the education field, right? As per our earlier speaker said, NEP, new policies has come. The teaching methods are changing. The pedagogy is changing. So according to that, we have to follow. Then only we can upgrade ourselves and we can develop, we can teach better to the student. Finally, student will be getting benefit. And it should be like student-centered teaching, not like earlier teacher goes on teaching and student keep listening the teacher, whatever she says, he says, isn't it? So it's not like that. So student also should interfere and discuss in the subject when you are going for teaching, right? Did you take such classes anytime? Just think about it. If not, you start doing that. You make the students to participate when you are going for in a topic. So that is very much important. So students also feel very happy and they will learn subject very interestingly once they participate along with the faculty, right? So everybody should go for seminars, conferences. Okay, you will gain a lot of knowledge. And actually, many of the colleges, they will not give permissions to go for conferences or workshops like that. But so it's better all the institutions, if they give permission to all the faculties to attend such programs to develop, it's like advantage to institution and as well as the individual. So definitely faculty will develop by going to such programs and enhance their skills, and where it brings good results also. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was absolutely relevant and very valid. Now we come to one of the most important aspects of our teacher's role. Number of times when I speak to teachers, I get an impression that some of them have an opinion that their role is over once the classes are over. Once they come out of the classroom, their role is over. In my personal opinion, a teacher's role actually begins once the teacher leaves the classroom. Our main job is outside the classroom. Is there anyone in this auditorium who doesn't remember any of his teacher? I'm sure there won't be anyone, unless the person has not gone to school. We all remember the names of some of our best teachers, and we still have the same respect for them. Why? Is it only because of their teaching? No. If you recall, go back to memory lane, and you will realize that those teachers have done something beyond teaching to you. They may have touched your lives somewhere. The reason why I'm sitting in front of you is mainly because of my teachers. 3 teachers I remember very vividly. Okay? When I look back 40 years, 50 years ago, I was a commerce student and I wanted to do CA like any other student at that time. I had not even heard of MBA. And then we had one student, Professor Nair, B.K. Nair. He once told me, actually after the class, okay, whenever he would go home, I used to have a bicycle. I used to take my bicycle in hand and I used to walk up to him up to the railway station. And then I used to pedal back to my home. And during that time, we used to talk a lot. Okay? Right from global trade to Indian commerce and so many things. At that time he had said, no, you will not do CA. You will do MBA. You will shine brighter if you do MBA. Don't waste your talent in CA. While he himself was a CA. And since then I started taking MBA seriously. Rest is history. And today when I look back, I feel extremely happy that I did not do CA. I wouldn't have been as happy, as comfortable as I am right now. So let's talk about mentoring. Let's talk about creating change makers. And for that, I'll invite Dr. Sindhu, Director in charge of JNTU School of Management Studies.
Good evening, everyone. Well, I thank you, Professor Agnihotri, for giving me this opportunity, and my co-panelist. Well, I think this is a time that we have to ponder what's happening in this education sector. We all know, pre-pandemic, that is before COVID, teaching was something different. But the pandemic made us to think, bring change, the way we teach and learn. Now today we just don't talk about teaching, pedagogy. We have to, as just now Professor Agnihotri was talking about, it's beyond classroom. Who is going to bring that change? Is it the government, NAP, institution? It's the teacher who can bring change in the classroom. How can we bring the change? Most of you are teachers. I'm also a teacher, academician. How many of you think, as Professor rightly said, the moment your class is over, students come back and ask you, online, offline, it's a different issue. If they're asking questioning, if they're asking for some project, asking for some clarification, the learning is happening. So the change makers, the very important role comes the teacher. I should not say teacher now. We should talk about being facilitator, being a mentor, guiding beyond classroom. Now, as I was talking about the pandemic, let me again talk, that made us, compelled us use technology. How many of you are bringing technology into the classroom? Because today students are tech savvy. Everything is available. But what is the role of teacher? As rightly said, most of the organizations or the companies are looking for the individuals who have some values, some ethics. That is where we come, where technology may not help, but we will play a very important role. A teacher can tell or motivate, the students or the learners how the value-based or ethical-based, in spite of using technology, making money, trying to be in the limelight, still they can have this and ultimately, contribute to themselves, contribute to the families and the society. So the role of teacher is even today critical, in spite of technology, in spite of we are moving from, offline to, blended to online modes. The teacher role is still a very critical. So all the teachers need to think about what is that value addition we are giving to the students. See, the concepts, the theoretical knowledge, all that is available today. We may not make much difference. But how do we apply the conceptual knowledge or the theoretical knowledge to the practical issues, practical business problems, societal problem is very important role, and we have to bring that change in the classroom through networking, collaboration with the students, with our other faculty members or the mentors, facilitators. Think out of box. Can we give some practical based learning which student can apply tomorrow when they go out of the college. So these are the things only a mentor or a facilitator can do. Systems come, systems go. But it's the teacher who plays even today a very important role, any part of the globe. But there needs to be some change. What is that change? Whatever the subject, whatever the domain you are in, how I bring that value addition to the classroom is one very important thing which we have to think as a teacher. Holding a student 90 minutes, 100 minutes is a tough task today. All the teachers might be facing. So be in there, be empathetic, be a student of current generation. Let's not compare present student with our generation students. We have to think from their perspective, how do we contribute to the knowledge? What is that I should take to the classroom where students should start feeling that I'm missing something if I'm not attending? So that kind of thinking, that kind of a change in the teacher is very much required. I know we cannot change in a day. It takes time. How do we change? We have to network. Network with the people, network with the other faculty members, the teachers, what are they doing, what I can do. How can I be different? How can make my student or learner understand better, apply better is what the real challenge is today. I think today we are very, very critical position, all the teachers. We learn something, we have to unlearn a lot of things and relearn a lot of. So as just now Madam was talking about, Dr. Uma, that FDP, see, continuous learning is a mantra for all the people who want to be in education field. Gone are the days, I am knowledgeable, I have this doctorate, postdoctorate, doesn't work today. How I'm going to get technology, how I'm going to leverage on technology so that I can give best to my learners is what we have to think. So with this, I have a few questions that all of us need to think in that direction, and we have to make every level, not just doctorate level, but at the postgraduate level, at the graduation, maybe +2 level, how students start thinking about the issues and problems. And how do they get the solutions for that? We teachers can bring that change. So these are few opinions of mine which I just wanted to share with my co-panelists and all you members who are attending. So thank you for providing this opportunity.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Anyone has any question, we can take one question before we wind up, if there is any. If not, I'll just say thank you to all my co-panelists for being over here and sharing their thoughts on such an important topic. Thank you so much for being a very quiet audience.
Thank you, the panel members and Mr. Prafulla for such a lovely session here. As a token of appreciation, I would like Dr. S. Srikanta Swami, Senior Consultant and Expert NAAC, to hand over a memento to Professor Prafulla Y. Agnihotri, Director IIM Sirmaur, Himachal Pradesh. Thank you. And then I would like Professor Prafulla Y. Agnihotri, Director IIM Sirmaur, Himachal Pradesh, to give away a token of appreciation to Dr. Srikanta Swami, Senior Consultant and Expert NAAC. Also, I would like Professor Prafulla to give away a token of appreciation to Dr. V. Uma Devi, Deputy Secretary, T-Wires. And also, I would like to give a token of appreciation to Dr. Sindhu, Director in Charge, JNTU School for Management Studies. Request the speakers to please come forward for a group picture. Thank you. Thank you all the panel members and the moderator for the discussion.